Greetings everybody. So hello and welcome back. So we are going to, welcome to lesson 7. And so we're going to move on to a new subunit here. So we're going to look at the effects of an electric current. Okay. Effects of an electric current. And so forth. There are 3 effects here that we should understand. Okay. So we're going to look at the effects of an electric current. And so there are 3 effects that we should look at here. So the first effect is that what? Is that we know that current can hit a resistance Y. Can hit a resistance Y. Yeah. And then the second effect, current causes current can cause a magnetic field. So the magnetic field here is around a wire. Okay. Current can cause a magnetic field. And then the last one, we're going to look at the current in solutions. Okay. So current can cause a chemical reaction in a solution. So these are the three main effects that we're going to look at for this lesson. Because you should understand what the effects can be, isn't it, of current. So it's not only in a circuit, you see, it can also happen in a chemical reaction where the electric current can break down the compound into ions. We will see it later. Let us, okay, in a while, okay. So now, let's look at the first one. Heat in a resistance wire. Okay, so let's look at the first one. So we are saying that current causes heat. Current causes heat in a wire. Current causes heat in a wire. Okay, so we're going to explain how this happens. Okay, so the explanation is as follows. Okay, when electric charge when electric charge flows through a resistor, flows through a resistor, when electric charge flows through a resistor, so electrical energy electrical energy is converted to heat energy. Is converted to heat energy. So so um so what we're saying here is that, okay, let's talk about what in uh, let me in an incandescent uh, light bulb. In an incandescent light bulb, electricity runs electricity runs through the filament through the filament filament which is made of which is made of tungsten. So we say tungsten. Tungsten has a high resistance, resistant to electricity. and the filament is very thin. And the filament is very thin. So it has high resistance to electricity, and the filament is very thin, so that it offers even more resistance, even more resistance. So this resistance is the one that turns electrical energy into heat energy. So this resistance turns electrical energy into heat energy, into heat energy. So if the energy is high enough, light can be produced. So it is the resistance inside the wire, okay, that produces the heat, okay. So the electric wire has to have resistance. So the higher the resistance, the more the heat energy is produced, you see. So now, so this is what makes the light, okay, the light bulb here. So this is what makes the light bulb to give off the light, okay, because the filament is made up of tungsten, okay. It's made up of tungsten, and tungsten has a high resistance. So it is this high resistance that produces a lot of energy. And if the energy is enough, then light will be given off, okay. And then, okay, let's talk about something else, okay. Let's talk about a what? A short circuit, okay. So a short circuit, what happens there? So let's begin by defining what is a short circuit, because we should define the thing before we explain what it is, isn't it? So a short circuit, and please, you should remember these definitions. They will be asked, isn't it? So a short circuit is an electric circuit. It's an electric circuit that allows current, that allows current to flow. to flow in an unintended circuit. Unintended circuit, or you can say in an unintended direction. Okay. So this is what happens. So let us explain how this happens. Okay. So the current encounters resistance, isn't it? So the current encounters resistance, encounters, or you can say it comes across, encounters resistance due to the construction of the components of a circuit. The components of a circuit. So if you accidentally connect a conducting wire if you accidentally connect a conducting wire so that there is a direct path, through the wires, through the wires from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. To the negative terminal of the battery. Terminal of the battery. So it's from the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery. Okay. So the what? The electric charges will not flow to the light. The electric charges will not flow to the light. And so but will go directly back to the battery, back to the battery. Okay. Because what? So what would cause this? So okay, let's read that again. Okay. So we're saying that a short circuit is an electric circuit that allows current to flow in an unintended circuit. So this means that it does not move in the circuit that we set up originally. Okay. So it says here, the current encounters resistance due to the construction of the components of a circuit. Okay. So if you accidentally connect a conducting wire so that there is direct path through the wires from the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery, the electric charges will not flow to the light and to other components of the circuit. So, but will go directly back to the battery. Because what? Because this is the path of least resistance. Okay, this is the path of least resistance. Is the path that has the smallest resistance. If you connect a wire directly from a negative terminal to a positive terminal. Okay, so this is called a short circuit. This is called a short circuit. So what causes the short circuit here is when the current does not move through the components of the circuit. You see, because why? Because a wire was accidentally connected. Okay, because the wire was accidentally connected directly from the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery. You see, and then also, so if the current enhance the heat, enhance the heat. So if the current supplied is high enough, such as in a house or a car. a short circuit like this. A short circuit like this can cause the wires to melt. Can cause the wires to melt. And this is what? This is the cause of, so this is the cause of many house and car fires. House and car fires. So if the energy is too high, okay, maybe if the wire, the conductor that was used as a short circuit has a very small resistance, okay, it means that there will be a lot of current in that conductor, and that will cause a lot of energy. See, that will cause a lot of heat energy, and the heat energy can cause uh, the wire to melt if the energy is high enough. See, sometimes it can cause the wire to melt, and that can cause a fire. Okay, it can cause little small explosions that can result in a house fire. See, okay, and then the next thing here. So this is the effect, the heating effect of what? Of the current. Okay, this is the heating. Current can cause heat in a wire. Okay, so a short circuit is an important part of it, because a short circuit exacerbates the effect. So it accelerates the effect of what? Of heat, because a short circuit uses a conductor of very low resistance. Okay, and it causes the current to move in unintended directions. Okay, so okay, guys, let's leave it here for lesson 7. Thank you for tuning in again. So please leave your questions in the comment section, and I will reply to your questions and your concerns. Okay, so I hope you tune in for lesson 8. Bye bye for now, and stay focused.